there an official status going forward for Caro?
We can't. Yeah, we're still waiting to find out. That'll be a club communication. Yeah, not if once they have a firm handle on everything, but it's not something I'll communicate in the public. Yeah.
If you're without her going forward for any period of time, is there any solace that, hey, we have played without her when she was gone during the World Cup, and we had some success without her? We know what it's like.
Yeah, we've preached team the whole year, and we'll continue to preach team, and that won't change just because we're in a playoff scenario. So we train the players the same way all the time, and whoever's called upon will step up. So yeah, we'll just wait and see and go from there.
Happier things though. It's first time hosting a playoff game here since 2019. It seems like that's just such another world ago. Can you imagine just how much things have changed, the good and the bad, the roller coaster from then to now?
Yeah, I mean the last time we hosted was the final, and with COVID it just seems like an eternity. But for us to be back in the situation we were in, not making playoffs last year by a point or whatever it was, and then coming down to the last game, and now having this group work their way back and get the club back in a scenario where we feel that we're being represented in a positive way, it's a full credit to the players. Obviously we want this place packed out. That's the club's job, to make sure they try and get this place packed out. It's a home game. You don't get those very often, and but the players deserve to be here based on their performances all year.
Do you think that they had the huge record crowd the last game? You're hopeful to have a similar crowd Sunday, but do you think that's a sign at all of the community coming back to the team, embracing it, noticing all the changes that has happened?
Yeah, I think it takes time, but I think that's a start. That's a start, right? And you always need a first step. The first step for us was to make sure that we played an attractive style that people want to come watch. I think we've done that. Doing it 1 out of 11 games is great, but we need more. And I think everyone here knows that, but that was one thing that I've been pushing for, and the players have been pushing for, is having this place with 10,000 plus people. But you always need that first step, and once you have it, then you have to continue on them and not be comfortable with just the one.
We've talked a lot about the youth and how they've been able to maybe exceed a lot of the preseason expectations, but how important have those veterans who did stay, beside those like Sully, KK, those that wanted to be a part of this going forward? Yeah, I mean, we don't have the success we have this year without them. They're our leadership group, and they bought into what we were doing, and they believed in us just as we believed in them, and they believed wholeheartedly in the club. And they're a massive part of why we're in the situation we're in. They've turned this around, not us as a staff. They've turned this around, and that'll be something that will go on further down the road. This was an important year for us as a club, and the fact that KK, Ryan, Casey, Sul, Mary, all those players, Britt, have all stepped up big time. Caitlin Rowland, they've all stepped up big time to help lead us in the direction we're going. And yeah, I mean, hopefully they at some point can sit back and recognize that a lot of this is due to them. The fact you've played Gotham a lot, different scenarios, different rosters, Challenge Cup and everything, but I mean, you have faced them 4 times with different rosters, but is the familiarity a good thing?
It is. It's not. It depends. I mean, look, they're so well constructed. They've built a really good roster there. They've done a great job in the off season, flipping it around and bringing in high-level players, and we feel that we can have some success against them, but I'm sure they feel the same way about us. And look, once the whistle blows, anything can happen. There's so many things that are out of your control. All we can do is control our attitude and control the style that we want to play, and play on the front foot. They're going to try and negate the things we do just as much as we are going to try and negate them, but we're not going to change anything because it's the playoffs. If anything, I feel that we have the pressure off of us because our expectations weren't. Outside expectations were not of us being in this situation, so hopefully the players can relish in this opportunity.
With the pressure being off you already, or if the pressure's off you, you already have one of the possible 3 trophies you win, want to get that second. But, I mean, in your mind, is this almost house money? Is this a season a success no matter what happens?
Yeah, and I think so often in the country, success is determined based on if you win. We've won in so many different levels. We've won, the Challenge Cup. We've won hosting a home game. We've won in changing our style of play and playing an attractive style that maybe a lot of teams in the league haven't played or seen. People talking about us in a positive way, selling out, creating a record with our crowd. Those are positives. And sometimes you have to look, and regardless of what happens in the playoffs, win, lose, or draw. Well, there's no draw, but win or lose, this season is a massive success for us. And I think people need to understand that. I think our fans see that. People call this as a rebuilding year, but I look at this as a recharge almost. It's an opportunity for us to build off of this. There's way too many successes for us not to be excited about.